Olympus is online. But who holds the password? In ancient Greece, Mount Olympus was more than just a mountain. It was the sacred abode of the gods, the seat of ultimate power. From its lofty peaks, Zeus and his pantheon governed the cosmos, their decrees shaping the destinies of mortals, their rivalries echoing through the ages. Their influence was absolute, their reach seemingly boundless. Fast forward to the 21st century, and we find ourselves living under a new kind of Olympus, the internet. This vast, interconnected digital realm now governs much of our lives, shaping our communication, our commerce, our culture, and even our very thoughts. But if the internet is our new Olympus, who are its gods? And more importantly, who holds the password? Today, on Echoes of Olympus, we'll explore the fascinating parallels between the ancient divine hierarchy and the modern digital landscape. We'll delve into the immense power wielded by tech giants, algorithms, and governments, and question who truly controls the keys to this new digital kingdom. Join us as we seek to understand the power dynamics of our online world and the urgent quest for digital sovereignty. Ancient Olympus, divine power and hierarchy. To understand our digital Olympus, let's first revisit its ancient predecessor. Mount Olympus was the mythical home of the 12 Olympian gods, a divine family whose power was immense and whose influence permeated every aspect of ancient Greek life. At the apex sat Zeus, the king of the gods, wielding the thunderbolt, master of the sky and ruler of both gods and mortals. His authority was supreme, though often challenged by his siblings and children. Each deity had their own domain, their own sphere of influence. Zeus, king of the gods, god of the sky, lightning, thunder, law, order, and justice. His word was law, his power absolute. Hera, queen of the gods, goddess of marriage, women, childbirth, and family. Her influence was in the domestic and social spheres. Poseidon, god of the sea, earthquakes, storms, and horses. His domain covered the vast oceans and the tremors of the earth. Hades, ruler of the underworld and the dead. Though not residing on Olympus, his power over the afterlife was undeniable. Athena, goddess of wisdom, warfare, and handicrafts. She represented strategic thought and civilized arts. Apollo, god of music, poetry, light, healing, and prophecy. His influence extended to inspiration and foresight. Artemis, goddess of the hunt, wilderness, wild animals, and childbirth. She embodied wild, untamed nature. Aphrodite, goddess of love, beauty, pleasure, and procreation. Her power lay in attraction and desire. Hermes, messenger of the gods, god of trade, travelers, sports, athletes, and border crossings. He facilitated communication and movement. Ares, god of war, embodying the brutal, untamed aspects of conflict. Hephaestus, god of blacksmiths, craftsmen, artisans, sculptors, metals, metallurgy, fire, and volcanoes. He represented creation and industry. Demeter, goddess of the harvest, agriculture, fertility, and sacred law. Her domain was the very sustenance of life. These gods, with their distinct powers and often conflicting agendas, formed a complex hierarchy. Mortals lived at their mercy, offering prayers and sacrifices, hoping to gain their favor or avoid their wrath. The gods controlled the weather, the harvests, the outcomes of battles, and the very flow of information through messengers like Hermes. Their power was centralized, their decisions often opaque, and their influence undeniable. This ancient model of centralized, powerful entities governing the lives of many provides a striking parallel to the digital landscape we inhabit today. The online Olympus, the new digital hierarchy. If ancient Olympus was ruled by gods with distinct domains, our modern digital Olympus is dominated by a new pantheon, the tech giants. These corporations, often with market capitalizations larger than entire nations, wield immense power over our daily lives, shaping our interactions, our access to information, and our very perception of reality. They are the new Zeus, Hera, Poseidon, and Hades of our age, each controlling vast digital realms. Consider the parallels: Google, Zeus, Apollo. As the undisputed king of information, Google, much like Zeus, commands the skies of data. Its search engine, Android operating system, and vast array of services, Maps, YouTube, Gmail, dictate what we see, how we navigate the digital world, and what knowledge is readily accessible. It also embodies Apollo's domain of knowledge and light, illuminating the digital landscape, but also controlling the rays. Meta, Hera, Aphrodite. Formerly Facebook, Meta, with its sprawling empire of social media platforms, Facebook, Instagram, WhatsApp, governs our social connections, our self-presentation, and our desires. Like Hera, it presides over our relationships, and like Aphrodite, it cultivates our desires and shapes our perceptions of beauty and connection, often through curated feeds and algorithmic amplification. Amazon, Demeter, Hephaestus. Amazon, the titan of e-commerce and cloud computing, AWS, is the digital Demeter, providing the very sustenance of our consumer lives, delivering goods to our doorsteps. It also embodies Hephaestus's domain of industry and creation, building the vast infrastructure, warehouses, logistics, cloud servers that underpins much of the internet. Apple, Athena, Hermes. Apple, with its meticulously designed hardware and software ecosystem, represents a blend of Athena's strategic wisdom and Hermes's communication. Its devices, iPhones, Macs, and App Store, create a walled garden of curated experiences, dictating how we interact with technology and each other, often with a focus on seamless, intuitive design. Microsoft, Hades, Hephaestus. While perhaps less visible to the average consumer, Microsoft's Windows operating system, Azure cloud services, and enterprise software form the foundational infrastructure for countless businesses and institutions. Like Hades, it controls vast, often unseen realms, data centers, corporate networks that are essential for the functioning of the digital world. It also shares Hephaestus's domain of foundational creation. These companies, through their platforms and services, collect vast amounts of data about our preferences, behaviors, and even our thoughts. They influence our purchasing decisions, our political views, and our social interactions. Their algorithms act as modern-day fates, subtly guiding our choices and shaping our realities. Their power is not derived from divine right, but from network effects, proprietary technology, and the sheer scale of their user bases. But if these are the new gods, who truly holds the ultimate power in this digital Olympus? Who holds the password? The new oracles and guardians. If the tech giants are the new gods of Olympus, then the question remains, who holds the password? Who truly controls the flow of information, the narratives we consume, and the very access to this digital realm? The answer is far more complex and distributed than the centralized power of ancient Olympus. It's a multi-layered system, with various entities vying for control, often in ways that are opaque to the average user. Consider these key players who, in their own ways, hold a piece of the digital password: algorithms, the new oracles. Perhaps the most powerful, yet invisible entities are the algorithms. These complex sets of rules and calculations determine what content we see on our social media feeds, what search results appear first, what products are recommended, and even what news stories gain traction. They are the new oracles, constantly interpreting vast amounts of data to deliver personalized and often profitable realities. They don't just reflect our preferences, they actively shape them, subtly guiding our thoughts and behaviors. The password here is the code itself, known only to a select few. Governments, the regulators and surveillors. Nations around the world are increasingly asserting their control over the digital space. This includes regulating content, implementing censorship, conducting surveillance for national security or other purposes, and even shutting down internet access during times of unrest. Governments hold a significant portion of the password through legislation, enforcement, and direct control over infrastructure. The Great Firewall of China is a stark example of a government holding a very tight grip on its digital borders. Influencers and content creators, the modern prophets. In the attention economy, individuals with large followings on platforms like YouTube, TikTok, and Instagram wield immense power. They can shape public opinion, drive trends, and even influence political discourse. They are the modern prophets, their words and images reaching millions, often bypassing traditional media gatekeepers. While they don't control the infrastructure, they control the narratives that captivate vast audiences, making them powerful custodians of the password to public attention. Hackers and cybercriminals, the digital tricksters. On the darker side, hackers and cybercriminals represent a disruptive force. Through data breaches, ransomware attacks, and denial of service attacks, they can expose vulnerabilities, steal sensitive information, and disrupt critical infrastructure. They exploit weaknesses in the system, demonstrating that even the most powerful digital fortresses can be breached, highlighting the fragility of our online security. Users, the unwitting participants. Ironically, the users themselves hold a piece of the password, often unknowingly. Every click, every like, every search query, every piece of personal data shared contributes to the vast datasets that fuel the algorithms. Our collective behavior, our attention, and our data are the raw materials that empower the digital gods. Yet our individual control over this password is often minimal, fragmented, and easily exploited. The digital Olympus is not a single, unified entity. It's a complex web of interconnected powers, where control is fluid, often contested, and rarely transparent. Understanding this intricate web is the first step towards reclaiming some semblance of sovereignty in our online lives. The quest for digital sovereignty, challenges and resistance. In the face of such concentrated power and pervasive influence, a critical question arises. How do we, the digital mortals, reclaim some semblance of sovereignty over our online lives? The quest for digital sovereignty is a growing movement, a pushback against the centralized control of the new Olympus, driven by concerns over privacy, surveillance, censorship, and the very future of a free and open internet. This quest manifests in several key areas. Privacy as a fundamental right. The constant collection and monetization of personal data by tech giants and governments is a core concern. The fight for privacy involves advocating for stronger data protection laws, like GDPR, using privacy-enhancing technologies, encryption, VPNs, and making conscious choices about what information we share online. It's about recognizing that our data is not just a commodity, but an extension of our digital selves, deserving of protection. Combating surveillance. Governments and corporations increasingly employ sophisticated surveillance technologies, often with little transparency or oversight. The resistance involves exposing these practices, challenging their legality, and supporting initiatives that promote transparency and accountability in data collection and usage. It's a battle for the right to be free from constant monitoring, to have a space for private thought and communication. Fighting censorship and content control. The power of platforms to moderate, remove, or deplatform content raises serious questions about freedom of speech and the control of information. The quest for digital sovereignty includes advocating for clear, transparent, and fair content moderation policies, supporting decentralized platforms that are less susceptible to single points of control, and pushing back against algorithmic bias that can suppress diverse voices. Open source and decentralization. A significant part of the resistance movement champions open-source software and decentralized internet architectures, like blockchain and peer-to-peer networks. The idea is to build alternatives to the centralized, proprietary systems controlled by tech giants, empowering users with greater control over their data and digital infrastructure. This is about building new, more democratic digital temples, where the power is distributed rather than concentrated. Digital literacy and critical thinking. Ultimately, digital sovereignty begins with individual empowerment. This involves cultivating digital literacy, understanding how the internet works, how algorithms function, and how our data is used. It also requires critical thinking, questioning the information we consume, discerning truth from falsehood, and recognizing manipulative tactics. An informed and discerning populace is the strongest defense against unchecked digital power. This quest is not about dismantling the internet or rejecting technology. It's about shaping its future, ensuring that this powerful tool serves humanity's best interests, rather than becoming a new form of digital tyranny. It's a battle for the soul of the internet, a fight to ensure that the password to Olympus is held by the many, not just the few, reclaiming the digital throne. So, Olympus is online, but who holds the password? As we've explored, the answer is complex, multifaceted, and constantly evolving. The power once concentrated in the hands of mythical gods has fragmented, distributed among tech giants, governments, algorithms, and even individual influencers. Yet in this new digital pantheon, the ultimate password, the true power to shape our online destiny, remains largely contested. This isn't just an academic exercise, it's a call to action. Understanding the power dynamics of our digital world is the first crucial step towards reclaiming our agency. We cannot blindly accept the narratives presented to us, nor can we passively surrender our data and our attention to forces we don't comprehend. The future of our digital lives, and by extension, a significant part of our human experience, depends on our collective awareness and our willingness to engage. The lessons from ancient Olympus are clear. Power, left unchecked, can lead to tyranny, even if well-intentioned. The constant struggle for influence among the gods often had profound consequences for mortals. Similarly, in our digital age, the unchecked power of algorithms and corporations can lead to surveillance, manipulation, and a narrowing of perspectives. Our quest for digital sovereignty is a modern-day heroic journey. It demands that we become digitally literate, critically evaluate the information we consume, protect our privacy, and advocate for a more open, decentralized, and equitable internet. It requires us to build new digital temples, where the power is shared and the password is truly in the hands of the people. Ultimately, the question of who holds the password to Olympus is a reflection of who we choose to be in the digital age. Will we be passive subjects, living at the mercy of unseen algorithms and powerful corporations? Or will we be active citizens, demanding transparency, fighting for our rights, and collectively shaping a digital future that serves humanity's highest ideals? The choice is ours. The password is waiting to be claimed, not by a single entity, but by a conscious, engaged, and empowered collective. Let us strive to build an Olympus that truly serves its inhabitants, where wisdom, freedom, and connection reign supreme. If this video resonated with you, please like, subscribe to the Echoes of Olympus channel for more deep dives into mythology, philosophy, and the intersection of ancient wisdom with modern challenges, and share it with someone who needs to understand the power dynamics of our digital world. And remember, in the digital age, knowledge is power, and awareness is the first step to freedom.